Hello and welcome back once again. I'm Baron Battlebred, your guide through the streets and whispers of Regate. Gather round, you lost folk, as we spiral back into the Time Breakers, trying to rewrite history and change their fates. When we last left off, they had tracked down the marks onto the island in the middle of the shipping lanes. They found a dying person whom then they interrogated and subsequently murdered after they found out that they had kidnapped their companion.
Hey,
Thaddeus.
we healed him first.
Yeah.
Thaddeus, in a rage, rowed the rowboat very aggressively up to the north end of the island where Shimmer had pointed out that the shadow tree was located. At which point, his passive perception was just enough to see a large rock sliding into place over what is likely a secret door. Time Breakers. What would you like to do?
Time breakers, time breakers.
Thaddeus is going to beach the craft again, and he's going to get out and he's going to start heading for the rock with his hammer drawn.
He beaches the craft. Shimmer's gonna open her mouth to start saying something and turn towards the other two, and watch as he runs away. And she says, "Like, well, never mind." Then Shimmer's gonna turn to Elise and is like, "So my plan was for me to cast invisibility on myself and Thaddeus, and so we could sneak in. But he ran off. So should I cast it on us instead?"
I think this is a good idea. If Thaddeus gets caught in a crossfire, we may have to deal with the comeuppance, the after effects, the consequences of his foolishness.
Yes. And I'm gonna cast invisibility on both of us.
Okay, you have cast invisibility on yourself and Elise. Shimmer, as Thaddeus goes charging towards the rock. Thaddeus, you said your hammer was drawn. What are you up to?
I am basically beelining it towards the rock. I want to also keep an eye out for anything that might be a potential threat. But ultimately, my goal is to get to that rock, move it out of the way, and go rescue Sarah.
Yeah, okay. You rush up to the rock without much of a second thought. You don't bother. Your passive perception is good, but you don't bother looking around for anything else, I assume?
Nope.
Okay. Roll me a strength check.
3.
You immediately try and pick up this rock, forgetting that your hammer is in your hand, and you just kind of scrape your knuckles along the side of it. Like, oh, you did not get a grip.
Oh, I did not get a grip.
Elise and Shimmer, you are now invisible. You watch as Thaddeus' hands just slide along this rock as he's looking for a handhold. What would you like to do?
Continue watching.
Yeah.
All right, they're not helping. Thaddeus, you're on your own.
I would like to really quickly investigate the rock for any kind of mechanism or lever that I can pull, press, or stomp on.
I would say that due to your tinker...
Actually,
Huh?
I have just discovered I have something called the Wand of Conducting. Does using that count as casting a spell?
No, wands generally have charges of their own.
Okay, I would like to make a sad trumpet sound after he fails.
Okay. Thaddeus, your hands slip along the rock, and as you start investigating, you just hear a disembodied wah, 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 wah.
That is my contribution.
Spurred
Okay,
on
yeah.
by the ghost that is clearly watching you right now, Thaddeus.
Yeah, I'm still going to investigate the rock because I want to find out how it opens, and I want to open it so I can go get my robot back.
Yeah, okay.
My still defender. My sentient still defender.
You go to investigate this rock, and I will say that with your Tinker's experience, I will give you advantage on this investigation check.
8.
Clearly, whoever built this was paid extremely well. You cannot find the locking mechanism that is keeping this rock down. You know that this slides out of the way. You saw it, but you don't know how. Is it a secret button? Is it a lever? Is there a latch? Maybe it's magical. You keep pushing on it. What's your next move, Thaddeus?
I turn back towards where I think Shimmer and Elise are, and I'm like, I could use your help. Just shouting.
There's no one there. You turn back towards your companions, and they're gone.
Oh, they're there.
You shout this, right, Thaddeus?
Yes.
You shout, "I could use your help." And as you look back towards your companions and you yell this, one of your free hands is still on the rock, and you feel it shift a little bit.
Huh. I
Nothing.
can
Nothing.
use.
Nope.
Your.
Nope.
Help.
The rock shifts again, just a little bit more.
Help?
The rock shifts just a little bit more.
Help, 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 help.
Suddenly the rock slides out of the way, and you are staring at a what is essentially a small ladder down into a hole, and there's a man climbing up it, looking up at you, going, yeah, I heard you the first time.
Excuse me, do you happen to have a steel defender in a bag?
What?
He's so
It's a
polite.
small mechanical creature with a rapier.
He looks up at you, like completely puzzled by why somebody would, like one of his teammates would be asking about this. He looks up to like kind of berate you about it. And then you just, as he reaches the top of the ladder and gets a clear look at your face, because he's no longer looking up into the sun, you see a look of fear cross his eyes. He's like, oh no.
Oh, yes. Now where's my steel defender? As I get ready with the light hammer to hit him.
At this point, I think Elise and I should start moving.
Okay, you guys watch as a head pokes out of the hole as the rock slides back, and Thaddeus raises his hammer, ready to strike this man.
Shimmer will mutter to Elise before they start moving. I was hoping that we would would we be able to wait until we are inside before we're having to break invisibility? I don't want to waste this spell slot.
Well,
For
I
moving.
don't think Thaddeus needs our help just yet. We'll keep an eye. Of course,
Yes.
we'll make sure that he doesn't become overwhelmed, but I don't think he's at that point yet.
Yes.
Thaddeus,
So we should try to get closer so we can get in before they close it.
Agreed.
Thaddeus, as you raise your hammer, the man standing on the ladder in this hole raises his hands up in an attempt to block. What do you do?
Well, I look at the man and I say, all I want to know is where's my steel defender? And also, what kind of person uses help as a password to open a rock?
Roll me an intelligence check, Thaddeus.
You need to update your IT security. That password is too weak.
7.
7. You're beginning to think that maybe help wasn't the password to open a rock. Maybe there was just a guy under the rock who heard somebody calling for help.
Well, okay, so, if this is a secret lair, why did you open for somebody shouting help? And where's my steel defender?
I was told we left one behind. He should be coming along any minute. He was injured. I calling for help. I figured that would be a thing. That's down in the hole.
Oh, that guy. Yeah, he sent us ahead to get my steel defender. He said there was a misunderstanding. I'm totally being deceptive right now.
So you're threatening this man with a hammer, and then you're saying that you're coming to get your steel defender because you were told to.
Right. Well, I did, roll low on my intelligence check, so yeah.
Okay, roll me deception with disadvantage.
Nat 20. No, it's a 9.
With a 9, he looks at you and he's like, "You're not one of us. You weren't set here at all."
And with that, I attack.
Wait, before you do that.
Too late. 23.
I wanted to do something funny first.
Okay.
And I rolled an 8 for damage.
Okay.
Can I do my funny thing first? I would like to go behind him, and not really where I'd be in danger of being hit, behind the guy who Thaddeus is going to hit. And I would like to say and imitate the voice of the guy that we killed. And I would like to say, you should have listened to him.
Thaddeus, a disembodied voice that sounds vaguely familiar goes, "You should have listened to him," as you bring your hammer down on this man on the ladder. With a 23, you you see the fear roll through his eyes as a second voice comes out of nowhere. Like, what is going on? He tries to block your hammer with it, like he tries to catch it with his arms, but he's standing on a ladder, and your 23 smacks him in the top of the head, and you deal 8 damage as you bonk this man, and he falls off the ladder because he was not holding on to it. And you listen as he just goes.
So Thaddeus will turn back to where he thinks Elise and Shimmer are, and he'll be like, "Okay, we can go in. Ladder's clear now." And he'll start climbing down.
The Shimmer is amused.
The rock is slowly closing with no one to hold it open.
Elise is climbing down the ladder too.
Yep, Shimmer
Making
has
sure not to
already
make a sound.
started to climb down.
All right. I would like all 3 of you to roll me a stealth check if you're being stealthy. The invisible ones have advantage.
Who said anything about being stealthy? I want my still defender back.
I said if you're being stealthy.
26.
Nice.
17.
Also nice. Thaddeus, I assume you're not being stealthy?
Whatever gave you that idea?
All right. You climb down over the body of this crumpled man at the bottom of this shaft, and you find yourself standing in a large stone hallway. You enter the space, right? It's dusty, it's kind of dirty, but it is this place was definitely crafted, right? This is somebody's hideout. And Thaddeus, not being stealthy, you stroll boldly down the end of the hallway, and you turn the corner and find yourself staring at a large, kind of shimmering golden dog. It's growling at you slightly, like, "Arr,
You speak common?
arr."
Cool.
One more
I'm
time.
going to charge the dog, and I'm going to hit it with my hammer.
Bark, 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 bark. Go ahead, hit it with your hammer.
15.
Let me click some buttons here and find out. 15 does in fact hit the dog.
8.
Wow. You smash your hammer into the side of this very angry dog, and you hear it go, but it stands back up, ready to bite you. And it will bite at you with a 13.
Meets my armor class.
Alright.
Really?
Yeah.
You
An AC of 13.
take 3 points of piercing damage, and I need you to make a strength saving throw.
22.
Nice. The dog attempts to pull you to the ground so that it can tear you apart, but you are stronger than the dog. What would you like to do next?
Are Elise and Shimmer going to do anything?
That's a good question. Elise and Shimmer, you hear Thaddeus speak some words at a creature. You hear a bark and then a whine as Thaddeus's hammer slams into something.
Does Bardic Inspiration break invisibility?
Is it an action or attack?
It's a bonus action. I don't know if it count. It doesn't. It's not an attack.
You know what?
It
The
just-
Bardic Inspiration is basically. You know what? I will allow it this time. We'll look into it later.
Okay,
It will not break your invisibility at this point.
then I will give Thaddeus Bardic Inspiration. But other than that, no. There's nothing else I can do without breaking invisibility, really, unless I move past them to Scott ahead.
All right, Thaddeus, this dog has barked twice now. What they gonna do?
I'm going to hit it with my hammer again.
Sure. Does
I'm
Bardic...
not in the mood. I want my steel defender back. 17.
17 hits as you thwack it again with your hammer.
9.
Oof. Let's see. What was it? 8 and 9.
And as I'm doing that, I'm like, shut up.
That is enough, actually. Your second thwack slams into this large attack dog, and you put it to sleep. You have thunked it into unconsciousness.
But it's not dead.
Not unless you want it to be.
No, I don't want it to be.
Nah,
just
you have,
want it to
you have
be,
thunked it
unconscious.
into unconsciousness.
I'm not a horrible monster. Just a slightly monster right now.
You thwap this dog twice with a hammer. It is taking a nap.
Okay, I'm going to continue on the hallway that the dog came from.
All right. You make your way down the hallway, down the stairs, down the next stairs, and you find yourself looking at stairs that lead up, and you see a large pool, kind of like a fountain, maybe, in the room on your left.
Okay.
Shimmer and Elise, what are you guys up to?
Should we have gone? I feel like it would be a good idea to try scouting out the opposite direction after giving Thaddeus bardic inspiration.
What item does Sarah have that Elise would know? I'm trying to remember. Because we've got locate
Wouldn't
objects.
she
Oh,
have a rapier of wounding?
Would they have disarmed her, though?
That's a good
She
point.
would have a rapier of wounding. And they did say she still had it on her when she was kidnapped in the bag. So that is a good choice. But
Sarah
she's
also-
another one.
Sarah would
Yeah,
have three items that you are very familiar with. They're very proud of their cloak, their shield, and their rapier.
And their recently acquired compass.
Yes.
That's true.
Elise is going to focus in on the compass and cast locate object, breaking the invisibility, but maintaining stealth afterwards.
It would have been a good idea to do that before casting invisibility, now that we think about it.
How far does locate object go?
Hindsight is 2020. 1,000 feet.
Okay, and what exactly does it do for you?
Describe or name an object that is familiar to you. You sense the direction to the object's location as long as that object is within 1,000 feet of you. If the object is in motion, you know the direction of its motion. The spell can locate a specific object known to you as long as you have seen it up close within 30 feet at least once. Alternatively, a spell can locate the nearest object of a particular kind, such as a certain kind of apparel, jewelry, furniture, tool, or weapon. Can't locate an object if any thickness of lead, even a thin sheet, blocks a direct path between you and the object.
There is no lead here, so you know that Sarah is to the west. Or at least Sarah's compass is.
Shimmer, well, actually, it's probably a good thing that Shimmer can now see Elise, so she can follow Elise.
Yeah, Thaddeus, follow me. I can sense the compass. This way.
I think have we gotten separated from Thaddeus at this point?
Just a little bit. Thaddeus has moved his way down the stairs.
But I'm sure I'd be able to hear Elise echoing slightly.
Yeah, he hasn't gone too far. He's just at the bottom of the stairwell currently. In fact, you have to go that way if you want to lead him. So
Okay.
Then that's what we'll do.
all
As
right.
Elise comes down the stairs, Thaddeus is like, "Oh, what took you so long?"
I was being smart.
Well, I was being practical.
Sure, if you found yourself surrounded by dozens of these nefarious figures, you would certainly have found a practical method of getting yourself overwhelmed. Agreed.
To disagree.
All right. With Elise leading the way, it's not too difficult to figure things out. You know that you have to head west. But from this space currently, there are two doors in your way. There's a door on the left and a door on the right. From your current position, you are not sure which one continues to lead west. They both face west, but you don't know which one goes that way.
Are they different material of doors?
Yes. The door on the right you see is a wooden, metal banded door, and the door on the left seems to be carved from stone and looks more like a sliding door.
The stone feels like the wood feels like it'd be wood.
I would hope the wood feels like wood.
See, the wood feels like it would go to somewhere we don't want to go.
Would you like to roll me an intelligence check?
Actually, yes, I would.
Oh, would you?
Will you roll and not show me what intelligence is? Say, please, for the love of fuck. That is a nat fuck. No, wait, that is a 7, not a nat 1.
Yes.
Those 7s and 1s look so identical.
You are sure that the wooden door feels like wood, but
Yes.
you're also convinced that it probably doesn't go the way you want it to go. But you don't
Okay.
know unless you try and open it or the other door.
Well, she's the invisible one, so she'll open the one that she's pretty sure they don't want to go in because,
Okay.
hey, there's a creaky door.
The door opens. The door opens, and you peek inside. It's lit by a single candle or torch flickering on one end of the room. Roll me a perception check.
22.
All right. With a 22, you peek your head in. You see that this is just a room, but you also see another dog and a person sleeping in one of the beds.
Okay. I would have liked to have specifically only opened it like a crack, like as if it was only like a slight breeze coming through.
Okay. Sure. That's still what you see, though.
Yeah, so she'll walk away and be like, other door.
Did you close the door?
That would be a bit more suspicious, but she's sort of closed the door, yeah.
Got it. You pulled it, but didn't click it. Okay.
Yeah.
So you guys head towards the other door, following Elise's magical direction. Who wants to try and open this sliding stone door?
Give it a try, would you, Thaddeus?
Sure. Thaddeus will approach the stone door.
I need... Well, you're the artificer. How do you want to try and open this?
I would like to first investigate it with Arcana, if there's any magical dealings.
Sure. Go for it.
That's 11.
You don't sense any magical dealings beyond some basic defensive runes are etched into it for strength and longevity, basically just to make it so it's harder to destroy this if you try and smash it with a hammer. You wouldn't want your stone door to break if it got slammed into a wall.
Oh, that definitely rules out my next step of opening it.
By smashing it with a hammer?
No. Yes.
You could still try, but you'd have to roll very well.
I turn to Elise and I whisper, because, we don't want to necessarily wake up the entire cavern. And I say, Elise is still in stealth, right? Or is Elise visible?
She's stealth, but not invisible.
Can I see her?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, she spoke
So
to
I
you.
turn to Elise and I whisper, I don't know if I can open this door myself. You're going to have to give it a go.
Elise will sigh and then reach into her bag and grab a crowbar.
Okay.
And try and wedge the crowbar between any cracks there would be in this door.
There are indeed cracks. Roll me a sleight of hand.
24.
Yeah. So you wedge the crowbar into the crack on the door and you pry it just a little bit, and you watch as the door slides almost effortlessly into the other wall. It appears to have not been locked.
All right, let's carry on now.
Huh. I guess it wasn't locked.
You didn't even try and open the door, Thaddeus. You looked it over and said nope. Anyway, you guys move down, another torch flickering in the hallway as you make your way deeper into this spooky stone hideout. As you turn the corner, you find yourselves facing a large crevice in the ground. It looks to be the very edge is crumbling stone. It's deep, it's dark, and there appear to be several boards laid across it as temporary bridges. What would you like to do?
How sturdy do you think those boards are?
Well, the boards are wood, so who wants to roll me a nature check?
I have a +2.
13.
Probably not me.
Thaddeus, with your tinkering skills, you take a quick glance at the boards as they are, and they look a little old, a little rotted. They probably can't hold all of you, but they seem solid enough.
Okay. I turn to Shimmer and Elise. I say, we're going to do this one at a time. Should be fine. If anybody has flight to get across, now would be the time to use it. Or jump.
Elise is going to slide the stone door back, pour out the ball bearings in her bag in front of the doorway, so that if anybody did try and come through, they'd make a sound as they trip into the ball bearings, fall over.
Okay.
And then she'll pull out her rope.
Okay. Pulling out a rope. What you gonna do with the rope?
Tie it off to one for each. Well, it's going to be a safety mechanism here, where if one of us fell off the wood, I'm assuming this is another balancing chasm thing.
I would hate to do that to you.
Right.
Thaddeus is just going to cross right now and not even worry about that.
Okay. As you pull out your rope, Elise, you see Thaddeus has gone ahead again. He seems to be determined, single-mindedly so, to get back to his robot.
The robots.
This is how we fell off the cliff last time.
Thaddeus,
No.
you
Yes.
step out onto the board. It creaks under your weight, but it seems to be holding steady right up until you get to the middle of it, where it starts bouncing. Roll me an acrobatics check.
3.
Shimmer and Elise, you watch as Thaddeus takes a determined step out into the middle of this board, and you hear the crack as it starts to sink under his weight, and he starts to slip and fall, unable to keep his
Doesn't
balance.
I'm breaking my invisibility for you.
Thaddeus, as you start falling off of this board, you feel the magic envelop you, and you fall slowly. You have an action to save yourself. You do not see the bottom of this pit.
There's somewhere where I can throw my rope in a lasso-like fashion to try to grab a hold of the side.
I was actually going to steal the end of Elise's rope and cast flight on myself and throw it to Thaddeus.
Okay, so as Thaddeus attempts to slow his own descent, Shimmer will also be making a move, while Elise... Elise, how do you react to Thaddeus falling down this hole?
I imagine like she's still pulling out the rope and like hasn't quite looked up to see what he's doing yet.
Just hear a crack and turn around, and Thaddeus is gonna...
What in the world?
So I'm just stealing it directly out of her hands. I cast Featherfall, cast Flight on myself, steal the rope, and throw it to him as I fly over the chasm.
Okay, Thaddeus is currently attempting to throw his own rope to catch on something as you throw your rope down. So Thaddeus, I will need a dexterity save from you, and then a strength check from you.
Dirty 20 on the dexterity save.
Nice.
14 on the strength check.
Got it. We'll come back to that in a second. Shimmer, you are throwing this rope to a slowly falling Thaddeus who has managed to stop his descent. Roll me a ranged attack to see if you can get it close enough to him. You can use your Eldritch Blast modifier, or whatever it is. Whatever you have for a ranged attack.
22.
Nice. Thaddeus, as you finally stop your own descent, you get hit in the top of the head with the coiled end of a rope, and you grab onto it with your 14. Shimmer, you are now holding Thaddeus as you fly.
I think with both of us, we can drag him to back up.
Yeah.
Okay. So which one of you wants to give me the strength check with advantage?
At
I
least
have
his
a
strength is
minus.
0. Okay.
I have a negative.
All right. So we're gonna roll a +0 with advantage, and that's a 2.
I was assuming me and Thaddeus because Thaddeus used a lasso, so I was assuming it was me and Thaddeus.
Oh.
Thaddeus used his lasso to stop his descent, and then he's currently holding on to the end of your rope.
Okay, so
while you are flying,
do I technically did I steal all the rope from Elise is the question.
I thought it was just the end.
Yeah, you have like 50 feet of rope, right, Elise?
Okay.
Okay, then yeah, you have plenty.
Yep, I stole some of it.
Right, so effectively, Thaddeus is holding on to the end, Shimmer is flying and holding on to the middle, and Elise is holding on to the opposite end. But Elise rolled a 2. And so as she pulls on the rope in an attempt to pick you up, Thaddeus, she is unable to. So Thaddeus, as they're holding you in place, I need you to make me an athletics check to climb this rope and come out of the cavern.
Is there a rock on the other end, the end we're heading towards?
Oh yeah, there are rocks all over.
3.
Jeez. Thaddeus, it's all you can do to hold on. If it weren't for your own lasso rope, currently you're latched onto a rock, you would have fallen a long time ago.
I'm going to try and get leverage on a rock over here and yank him up using leverage.
Okay. Shimmer flies to the other side of the cavern, just at the edge of the rope, and
Do I have any spells that can help with this?
I
Fucking.
don't know.
How close are you to the? How close is Thaddeus? Can I get Thaddeus actually to the edge? Change plans.
I would say that currently, based on your reaction and his own reaction to having fallen down this hole, he's currently 15 feet below the edge.
No, I mean to the side of the edge.
Yeah, he's hanging on the edge of a rope. He is definitely like slammed up against the side of this cliff. As soon as he threw his lasso, he got pulled to the edge of the cliff. The difference is pulling him out.
All right, we have two options, Thaddeus. Do you want to try us to try pulling you up with the rope, or do you want to climb out? Because I can get you to climb out. Much easier, but it will cost me a spell slot.
I'll climb out on my own.
All right.
As you say this, you hear a barking echo down the cavern.
Never mind. I am... No more options. I am flying down and casting spider climb on Thaddeus.
Okay. I mean,
you are climbing out of there whether you want to or not.
Yeah, that'll work.
And then I'm going to go back to the other, fly back to the other end and cast jump on Elise so she can get across.
Yeah, okay. Thaddeus, you now have the power to climb out, no problem. Shimmer is flying back and forth. Elise, yeah, you have a jump cast on you, and you are capable of clearing this cavern, and you hear a hound on the other side of the cavern barking and running towards you with a voice echoing after him, like, stop, come back. Quit running, you mangy mutt.
How far down is that?
They're about 50 feet away, but they are on a curve, so they probably need one more turn before they turn the corner and see you.
Elise will throw some rations to distract the dog before heading towards the others.
Okay. You throw some rations down. You're distracting the dog. This spore is gone. You guys managed to make it across. And you scurry down the next staircase just as you hear the dog come around the corner. And its owner, like, what? You ran all this way for a couple of tried biscuits? You dumb dog. As Elise chuckles to herself, having created such a distraction. You guys find yourself at the bottom of a stairway, stuck between two doors. Elise, you know that there's an iron door ahead of you, and according to your spell, you know that Sarah is on the other side of it. Or at least Sarah's compass is. There is a wooden door behind you as well, but you don't know where that leads. What would you like to do?
Thaddeus, it seems Sarah's compass is through that iron door.
Right.
Upon immediately hearing this, Thaddeus will go and try to open the iron door.
How do you try and open the iron door, Thaddeus?
Try to open it like a normal door?
This door
This is going to be the one door that's locked.
is locked. You can hear muffled voices on the other side of it, and the sound of iron striking iron.
I turn to Elise. Elise, you need to open this door immediately.
Go ahead.
If that's what you want.
Do you need to see the target to cast message?
You have to know the target is there to cast message.
I'm gonna try and cast message at Sarah because we're pretty sure Sarah's there, right?
Pretty sure.
Yeah.
You don't need to be able to see your target.
Nope, you just need to be facing the general direction.
Okay, I'm gonna be like, yell live.
What?
I'm basically messaging Sarah, you alive?
Oh, are you alive? You hear a high-pitched whine come back to you. It sounds mechanical, but not necessarily words that you can understand.
I'm not sure if that's promising or not. That doesn't sound like it.
Elise, you need to open this door immediately, please.
Yeah, Elise is going to mage hands, sleight of hand to pick the lock.
All right. You're going to pick the lock. Roll me your sleight of hand and add your proficiency because you have your thieves' tools.
18.
That is Good enough. You hear the door click, click. Thaddeus, you see the crack appear as the door starts to open. It looks like you can push it inward.
I'm throwing that door open and I'm bursting in there.
Okay. Thaddeus, you burst into the room, and the first thing you see is a very large man in spiked armor wielding a jagged battle axe, slamming it against a bag on the table. And you can see that that bag is leaking the same black, oily substance that you found on the dagger of the man in the clearing. And he is laughing.
I point to him and I say, "Hey, you, get your damn axe off of her."
He stops for a second and he turns towards you. And Elise and Shimmer, Thaddeus, what's your AC?
13.
13. Oh boy. Oh, Thaddeus, you have just enough agency about yourself to dodge the swipe of the scimitar of the man who was standing next to the door. You are standing in a room with several other people. And that is where we're going to end the session today.
Dun dun dun.
Dun dun dun.
You just
Dun dun.
charged in. That's all for now. But when we return next episode, I'm sure the Time Breakers will continue to impress us.
Time breakers, time breakers.
You can come join the Discord. Links in the description. And this is your time. Come join us, and we can yell at Thaddeus together for stepping out onto that board without so much as a safety rope, when he knows that crevices are the worst enemy of the Time Breakers.
And of every other one. He knows what happened with the Goose Fest.
He knows these things, and he did it anyway. And you can help us build the city from the inside. It's a lot of fun. You can leave a rating, leave a review, and tell us how you really feel. We really appreciate it. Thanks for listening.
Bye.
Bye.
Attack!
Yeah.